Mike McCool here with the Royal Examiner. I'm on location at the corner of Kreiser Road and Luray Avenue. With me is Betty Showers and Jessica Cahill. And what we're standing in front of is our first community garden in lots of years, isn't it?
Yes.
It is.
So this thing has got an acronym. Tell me what it is.
It's Citizens Helping Each Other, CHEO,
CHEO.
CHEO.
Kind of like a CHEO pet there. We're going
Yeah.
All right. So what's this? Who wants to go first and tell me really what started all this community garden? Because I've heard Chairman Mabe has really been pushing community gardens. He wants people to get together, and he's really supportive. And we've tried other, some locations, but we started off here, and I'm sure people will see this. Maybe we can have 3 or 4 or 5 of these things going around the community.
That would be really great.
Yeah, right.
That would be really great.
So you're the master gardener, so why don't you give me the idea of what the concept is behind all this?
Well, the garden is 20 by 40, and this weekend we'll be actually working to prep the soil a little bit more, plant and put up the fencing. So, but we're trying to grow basic vegetables, so that will all the produce that's gleaned from the garden will be donated to local food pantries, CCAP and any others that there are.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah. So, but the garden is not for any one individual's benefit. It's to benefit those groups that are trying to help families have enough food on their table. And we're trying to encourage the community to come down, but we're also trying to encourage the community to grow their own gardens. I had planned some programs at the library that got canceled because of what's been going on, but we have been in some talks about doing some of that digitally, and maybe we can incorporate some of the work down here at the garden as some hands-on demonstration on a digital platform rather than being able to come out to a hands-on workshop. or you can come down here and I'll stand really far away from you and help you.
Show them how to dig in the dirt. Huh?
As best I can. I don't have the answers to every question, but I'll find you an answer if I don't know it.
Right.
So.
Now, Betty, I seen when I was looking at your paper there over your shoulder, you kind of got a list of the kind of things we're going to grow. Why don't you tell us some of those vegetables there? You got already wrote down.
Oh, we have them down. It's basically bell peppers, zucchini, squash, lettuce.
Plenty of squash.
Radishes, green beans, pole beans, tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, carrots. I think that's about it. Onions.
Small herb garden.
And then going around it, we're going to have an herb garden. Restaurants like to use herbs, and that's something we can do for them also.
Sure. Well, it's, that's one thing when you mentioned the food banks. These are the kind of things that the food bank doesn't really have, fresh vegetables and things to go with. So.
Yeah.
And anything left over, maybe somebody can can
Sure.
for the winter. And that would help greatly if the community has somebody out there that can do that for us.
So we're looking for some volunteers to come down this coming Saturday?
Definitely. We want to plant between 9 and 12.
Okay.
And trying to get everything done and put up fencing afterwards. And so anybody who wants to volunteer, come down. We need volunteers throughout the week, throughout the summer that can come down. They can bring their children, pull weeds, help us maintain. That would be fabulous.
This is the easy part right now. This is the easy part. This is the easy part.
Yeah.
Yes.
The hard part is maintaining.
So we got a growing season of 90 to 100 days maybe, right?
Yeah.
And so, we got a lot of weeds to pull.
But it's a community effort.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Where they can bring their kids, they can come down, they can do stuff. Kids can learn from growing straight up from the ground and how to do it.
So what's our plan to keep from feeding the deer?
So
every garden we've ever planted, I fed a lot of deers and rabbit. Deer and rabbit, yes.
Well, we have had a donation of electric fencing and a solar generator for that, since we don't have access to the electricity down here. So that when no one is down here, the solar fence will be on.
Okay.
So we do have a Facebook page. It's CHEO Front Royal, so CHEO Front Royal on Facebook, and we can post volunteer times on there. Anybody who is down to volunteer, before you can volunteer in the garden, you do have to sign a waiver. And if we do encourage families to come down, but anybody under the age of 17 still will have to have a parent sign the waiver, and needs to have a responsible adult with them for safety reasons. So
it's not babysitting.
No, but we do throughout. So this weekend will be the planting weekend, but throughout the season, the plants need to be watered preferably in the morning or late in the evening. Every day, at least every other day. Weeding needs to happen on a regular basis, weekly, bi-weekly. And then in about 30 days, hopefully, or 30 to 40 days, we'll start seeing fruits of our crops.
We'll see little things start coming through the
ground.
ground.
We'll actually need people to come down and do a little bit of... That's the part that always makes it really cool. A little bit of gleaning. So, and so there are lots of opportunities, as Mike said, probably through September to volunteer down here. And people that'll be willing to to transport the produce to the food pantries would be greatly appreciated too. We are encouraging people, if they're coming down Saturday, I know that my garden at home is not this big. I didn't use the whole pack of watermelon seeds. I'm going to bring the rest down here. So if you have some of those vegetables that Betty mentioned earlier, some seeds at your house that you didn't use, we would be happy to take them to use in the garden. And if you have any other, we're looking for some tomato cages and supports and things like that for the plants once they start taking off. So if you have things like that you're willing to donate, can I share the contact information?
Sure. And I'll put this contact information in the story as well, so you'll be able to get hold of them.
So Fern Vasquez is our contact person, and her phone number is 757-630-2362. And we have our email account is CHEO, CHEO, communitygarden@gmail.com.
And check it all. This will be on the Facebook page.
Yes.
And we'll put it in the story as well. This. Betty, why don't you tell us how all this would come about? And because I know this is not your land.
It's not.
And I heard we had some community-minded people that kind of let us borrow it for the summer.
We did. This is the Eastham family property, and they've been so gracious to allow us to use it. And then the county came out and dug up the dirt for us.
That's great.
And that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's hard to get that done.
That's
It looks so easy. Look how smooth and
I
level
know, it does. It does. But
it's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
We've already had a lot of contributions. People have already donated the solar panel, the fencing.
They can also donate cash.
They can.
Yes.
So we have to go buy a few little extra things.
Yes, because we will have to buy seedlings. Some of the plants start better.
And of course, we want Rural King and Southern States to give you those tomato cages and all these extra things. Now listen to that.
Anything they want to donate like that, they can bring to the flower shop.
Sure.
And I'm a
Betty
designation.
Showers is Fusel Florist. So
I'm the designation for anybody who wants to drop things off. They can just bring it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
It sounds like a really good idea.
It is. It is.
It's a lot of fun to get the dirt, and there's a lot of satisfaction.
Yes, it's been proven that there are actually a lot of psychological benefits to gardening. So if you're feeling stressed during this time at home, come on down and play in the dirt.
Get out there. Get out in the fresh air.
So what are we going to do about water? Mike said there's water.
That way.
Somebody will have to trek to turn it on, but we'll have hoses, which is
so
another
we
thing
don't
that's
have to
been
go.
donated.
We don't have to go to the river and bring it up in buckets.
No. We have hoses that we're going to bring it up to us.
Well, that's great.
He did ask that on Saturday, anybody coming out to help with planting brings their own bucket and a hand spade.
Gloves and mask if they want.
Gloves are good to have because the dirt was just tilled up, so we will be picking through and picking out some trash and things and rocks, so you might want gloves.
Well, like I said, watch it, be careful here too, because there's not street parking here, so you're going to have to be careful, and there'll be people here directing where we want people to park. And
if you were able to walk, it probably would be better to park down at the park, at the dog park, and walk up. It's not that far. And
You need the exercise. We'll carpool back.
Yeah,
At the end
Yeah,
of
we
the
could
day.
do that. We could do that.
Exactly.
You can
We
get
could do
here,
that.
but you'll be tired when you leave to
yeah.
get back.
But yeah, the community's been very, very generous, and we're hoping this is the start of
Many more.
Yeah.
Right.
of
So,
a bigger
and also, if
movement.
you've got a couple acres, or at least an acre, or half an acre somewhere in town that's nice and level and make a good garden, let's get hold of these CHEO people here, and maybe we have garden number 2. You still got time to get it in the ground.
Well, if they're making a garden, it would be really nice if they added a little bit of extra to
Yes.
it.
There you go.
And then donate the extra.
Yes.
That
I know.
would be great.
I remember we had the community gardens down behind not South Street, be south of Main Street, down in those homes that are down there up Blue Ridge and those things, and because they had these big long backyards and there was all sorts of gardens.
Yeah.
I mean, I had more squash and tomatoes and things you know what to do with.
Right,
You
yeah,
know,
right.
Your friends can only
I
take
know,
so
they
much.
can
So
only-
Nice.
you can donate.
And you know,
yeah.
they taste so much better than even the fresh things you buy at the store.
Yes.
They do.
And
Yeah,
right
they
out of
do.
the garden. Now, maybe because of the love that was put in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's great.
With the community the way it is, and the economy the way it is, and people being out of work and not being able to provide like they're used to, this is really nice. And if we can get the community behind us, that would be
That's
fantastic.
great. That's
Yeah.
great.
That'd be fantastic.
So
Well-
yeah, the Facebook page is new, but I will put some information about Victory Gardens aren't a new
No,
concept.
no.
No.
But just some information about Victory Gardens and about community movements and other areas of home gardens that are gardeners that are contributing to the.
Well, you know,
to
it's
food
always
banks.
good when people come together on a
Oh, yeah.
group
Oh, it does.
project. It
It
really
does.
brings a lot of joy and just good feelings. for
Makes you
people.
feel good in the heart.
It does make you feel good.
It
when
makes
you
you
get
feel
learn a
good.
lot.
You know, I
learn-
always tell
learn
people the
so much.
blessing is in the giving,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
not always not in the
Not in the
receiving.
taking, in the giving.
The blessing is in the giving. All right,
Yeah.
so we have a community garden underway right here at Luray and Kaiser Road. Betty Showers, Jessica Cahill is kind of heading this thing up. So please plan if you want to come down on Saturday at 9 o'clock. Bring your little garden tools and bring your bucket, bring your gloves.
And if you want a mask.
And then a mask if you want to wear it. So we're going to be careful. We're going to play all by the rules. And I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It will be. And
All
it'll
right.
be spaced apart, so you're 6 feet apart
Yeah,
from
well,
everybody. Everything's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be spaced.
Oh, yeah. Betty will make sure of that.
Yes.
All right.
Definite.
Anything else? We got it.
I think
We've got it.
Yeah.
Well, it
Thank you
sounds
for
like a lot of
everything on
fun,
the
and
list.
I really appreciate you coming forward, doing these kind of things for the community. It just kind of helps bring it all together and takes our mind off a lot of things that we don't, that maybe we don't need to be thinking about right now.
Yeah.
right.
Well, and it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's
it's a
great.
good. It's a good opportunity for people to give back, and it's a and like Mike
Oh, she already did.
alluded earlier, it makes you feel good.
Right. Good. Good. Well, again, thanks a lot, Jessica. Thanks, Betty.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it so much.
Appreciate it.